Welcome to Prime Testimony Channel. That's a beautiful face we've not seen for a very long time. But today, by God's grace, we've seen that face. And that's our sister Mercy. Mercy, welcome to Prime Testimony Channel.
Grateful.
Yeah, today's discussion is a very short one. Usually parents say that they don't have time because of their work busy schedule. Should it be an excuse why some parents will not be able to have time to interact with their children sometimes throughout the whole year? What's your view about this?
Okay. Parenting is a blessing because children are God's gifts. Many long for it, and I believe you longed for it. That is why God gave them to you. And some people will go to any length just because they needed children. I know people have been said to have climbed the Atria mountains because they needed children. And so if you are blessed enough to have some from the Almighty God, oh wow, what a blessing. However, if you do not have one of your own, please, it is not too much of an alarm, because there are various ways of having children of our own, not only the biological ones, those we carried in our wombs. There are many other children who are looking for a mother or father like you. And I believe that if you wanted to adopt or take care of some of these, you would be a blessing to them. The issue of not having time, yes, that is a legitimate, excuse, right? It is, because there are bills to be paid, and these same children come with a lot of bills around them. There is the school fees to be done, their clothing, their feeding. Oh my, you and I know that feeding today can be a daunting task. And so there are so many things to be done. There are building projects, the car projects, there are many other things we do. They are all bills to be paid, including the Brazilian hair,
Yeah, it's also very important,
Yeah, so because of the bills, parents need to work. And by work, we mean working hard enough to generate enough income to support the same children we have brought into life. After all, they didn't beg us to bring them to life. It could be that we, as a couple, deliberately planned to have them. Or otherwise meaning that you were having your own pleasure and then they came.
Okay, yeah.
So they did not ask us to bring them to this life. And so once we bring them to this life, the honors rest with us to ensure that we make them comfortable, as we expect God, our Father, our source, to go all length to make us comfortable. That is how it works. And so yes, the bills are there, but you see, when God gives you children, He also gives you work. So this one is a gift that associates with work. And work, not the work that you do to generate income. This work does not give you anything, at least in the interim. It becomes a sort of investment, And our forefathers used to say that, "Meme shop, now we see fifia, I will also shop. I'm missing 82." I believe that these kind of adages are becoming a thing of the past, because I believe parents must also make adequate plans and preparations for their own upkeep as they age, and that comes with a lot of bills. We should not rely all through and through on our children. It brings a lot of stress to them as well. Yes, so I have said that parenting works with work. Work in terms of, I've mentioned some already, the bills we have to pay, plus the values, the ideologies we need to construct in their minds. The way of life, their attitudes, they need to build. All these things are building blocks that parents need to work so hard to build in the life of the child.
Right from the childhood, right?
Right from age 0.
Okay.
Because if you do not do that, if you don't spend time to raise them the way you ought. So listen to the Proverbs. Proverbs 22:6. It says, bring up the child in the way they ought. They ought. Which way are they ought to go? The way you direct them, the way you inscribe for them, the way you ingrain in their ideology. So that is the way you believe they should go, of course. Especially good if it is based on godly principles. Okay? So we have to lead them. Beloved, and as we do that, we should not expect immediate results, because listen to the text. It says, in the way they should go, and when they grow up. Not when they are still children.
Right.
When they are still children, some of the things you are saying will never make sense to them. But when they grow up,
Right.
Bible says, and I believe associated, we may have their counterpart in the Quran, and even in traditional religion, believes that we must be deliberate in ingraining something in the child, and when they grow up, they will not depart.
So which means that paying attention to them in their formative years is very, very important. We don't wait till, we do not wait until they are grown before you start inculcating this into them.
Formative years are critical years. Ages 0 to 6 are critical years any parent will need to pay attention to, because you see, most of who they are is built around that time. All the others become pluses and minuses as they go. But the foundation, and we know that if anybody is building, the foundation level is critical. And now, the foundation is determined by the kind of building you want to build. So if you are building a story house, you will know that the foundation varies from, and even if it's a story, how many stories? 1 story, 2 story, and so on and so forth. These are critical things. And so depending on the strength you want for that child, it's a project, and a very exciting project for that matter. And so we parents must make deliberate efforts towards their development. Now the thing is that if we don't, society will. And then the question will be, what form will that take?
Picking from your statement, I was going to even ask, and let me ask you now, is that the reason why some of the children, when they grow into they get to their youthful stages, some of them, their parents are not their friends. Some of them, both father and mother are not their friends. Some of them, if the father is not a friend, the mother is not a friend, but rather we want to discuss their issue with their own peers. Is that the reason why?
It's a yes plus other factors. Okay. So for most adolescents, young people, as they enter the adolescence years, they are tilted more towards their friends. They kind of listen to them more, and so on and so forth. However, that depends on the kind of attachment that has gone into the foundational years, as we mentioned to you, 0 to 6. And so parents need to be deliberate about building attachments. When we build solid attachments, yes, at that age, they will still want to attach more to their friends, but because of what we have developed, it's easy for them to lose them completely. So you still have them, but of course they also want to share their life with friends. It's part of growing up and living independent life.
Thank you very much, Mercy. In fact, the story has been very, very, very sweet. We promise you we will definitely find time to come with part 2 of this. This is Ato Brentishan. I'm here with our sister Mercy Mousy Kokoi. Until we meet with you again in our next video, we are saying bye bye. God bless you. Watch Prime Testimony channel always.